Welcome to English Daily Channel.
My name is Maya. I just came back to English Daily Town. Tonight was my first time to play music here. I brought my cello to morning cafe. The rain was falling outside and the cafe was full of warm light. I felt nervous. My hands were cold. For a moment, I thought nobody would listen. But when I started to play, the room became quiet. People stopped talking. They listened. At the end, they clapped. One man looked at me and said, "That was beautiful." I smiled and said, "Thank you." Then he left, and I thought the night was finished. But I was wrong. Someone else came in. Julian, is it really you?
Maya, is it really you?
I didn't expect to see you here tonight.
I heard you were back in town. And now I hear your cello again. Wow, it feels like old times.
You still remember my sound?
Of course. I first heard it back in the school, remember? And now, after all these years, it feels the same.
Yes. It was my first time playing here. I was so nervous.
Nervous? You looked calm. Your sound was powerful. Everyone listened.
Inside, I was shaking, but when I play, I try to put my heart in the music.
I could feel that. You always play with heart. That's why people remember you.
Thank you. But, it wasn't easy to keep going.
What do you mean?
Some people told me music is not safe. It's not a real job.
And still, you chose it. You didn't stop. Why?
Because music is the only way I can breathe. Even when people didn't understand, I had to continue.
That's brave. But when things were hard, what gave you strength?
Different things. Sometimes just one kind word. Sometimes a song.
No. I can see it in your eyes. Something more. What helped you believe in yourself?
There is one story that stayed with me.
A story? What kind of story?
A movie.
A movie? Which movie?
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Ah, I've heard of it. But I never watched it. What's it about?
It's difficult to explain in one line.
Then don't give me one line. Tell me the start. What happens first?
English snack.
Maya, he always worried about rent.
Yes, rent is the money you pay for your home.
And bill?
A bill is money you pay for things like water, light, or food.
Ah, so rent is for the place, bills are for the things.
Exactly.
Maya, can you start from the very beginning? What kind of life did he have?
At the start, he was a salesman. He carried heavy medical machines on his back.
Machines? What were they for?
They were scanners, big, expensive scanners for hospitals. He thought they were special.
Did people buy them?
No, most doctors said, "We don't need this. X-rays are enough."
So he walked all day trying to sell, but no money came?
Exactly. He walked, he ran, he knocked on doors. Every no made his bag heavier.
So that must have felt useless.
Yes, useless. But he had a son.
A son changes everything.
Yes. Every time he wanted to stop, he looked at the boy's face.
Did the boy understand?
He was too young. He only knew his father tried.
So from the first minutes, we already feel his weight.
Yes. We see money almost gone, bills on the table, and the boy asking small questions like, "Dad, are we okay?"
That line already hurts.
Yes. His life was heavy before it even began to fall apart.
What about the boy's mother, Maya? Was she there?
At first, yes. She worked too. She wanted a normal life.
And then?
The stress grew too heavy. Bills came. Rent was late.
Did they fight, Maya?
Many times. She said, "I am tired of this life. I can't live like this."
And what happened?
One day, she left.
Just like that?
Yes, she packed her things and walked out.
Did she leave the boy?
Yes, Julian. She said, "He needs you more than me." And she left him with the father.
That must have broken him.
It did. He stood in the room with bags around him. His wife was gone. His boy was still there.
And he had to say, "I will stay"?
Yes, Julian. He told his son, "I will never leave you."
That choice is love.
Yes, painful, but love.
What about their home, Maya? Did they keep it?
For a short time. They had a small apartment.
And then?
The rent came. He had no money. So they were kicked out.
With the boy?
Yes. He carried boxes in the rain. One hand held a box. The other held the boy.
Where could they go?
First to cheap motels. But soon, even motels cost too much.
So they had no home?
Yes. They walked with bags, searching for a place.
That picture is hard to take.
Yes. A man with a child, standing on the street. Nowhere to go.
And the boy, what did he say?
He asked, "Where are we going, Dad?" The father had no answer.
English snack.
The movie title has happyness with a Y. Is that wrong?
Yes, the correct word is happiness with an I.
So why happiness?
It was a mistake on a wall in the story, but it became a symbol.
A small mistake, but a big meaning.
Where did they sleep, Maya?
If lucky, they got a bed in a shelter.
Shelter?
A shelter is a free place for the homeless. Many people wait in line.
And if they were late?
No bed left.
What then?
One night, they slept in a train station bathroom.
A bathroom?
Yes, he locked the door. He sat on the floor. His son lay on his lap.
Did the boy sleep?
Yes, he slept with trust. The father pressed his head back on the wall, and tears fell.
That is one of the hardest images.
Yes, the sound of people outside, the smell, the cold floor. But his arms never let go.
So, even at his lowest point, he stayed strong.
Yes, he never let go.
Maya, how could he keep going? Was there really no chance?
There was one chance, a stockbroker internship at a big company.
Internship?
Yes, it means work with no pay. 6 months, no money, only a chance at the end.
That sounds almost impossible.
Yes, and even this chance was not easy to get. He went to the interview wearing clothes covered in paint.
Paint? Why?
The night before, he had to work painting. He had no time to change. He ran to the interview just as he was.
So the boss saw him like that?
Yes, he sat in front of the boss, nervous but honest. He had nothing, but he spoke with heart.
And the boss?
The boss saw his eyes, saw his will. Softly, he gave him the chance.
So even in his worst moment, he won respect.
Exactly. His clothes were poor, but his spirit was rich.
But he already had nothing. Work with no pay? How could he survive?
True, but he said, "This is the way." For him, no other road existed.
So he worked in the office by day and searched for shelter at night?
Exactly. He carried his machines, sold blood, did anything just to buy food.
That sounds impossible. Did he do well at the office?
Yes, he made more phone calls than anyone. He studied after hours. He worked with fire in his eyes.
But he must have been so tired, right?
Very tired. But he still smiled for his son.
So his strength was not only for himself.
No, his son was the reason. Always his son.
English snack.
Maya, one thing. What exactly is a stockbroker?
A stockbroker is someone who buys and sells company shares, also called stocks, for other people.
So they help people invest their money?
Yes, and if they do it well, they can earn a lot of money. That's why Chris wanted that job so much.
I heard there's a famous scene with his son.
Yes, it happened on a basketball court.
Tell me.
The boy said, I will be a great basketball player. I will be the best.
And the father? What did he say?
At first, he said, Don't dream too big. You won't be great.
Oh, that must hurt.
Yes, the boy looked down. His ball slipped from his hands. His dream fell with it.
And then?
Then the father saw his son's face. He froze. He knew he had cut his boy's dream.
So he stopped?
He stopped. He changed. He said, Don't ever let someone tell you you can't do something, not even me.
Wow. That line is powerful.
Yes, he was weak for one moment, but then he became strong, stronger than before.
So he gave his son belief.
Yes, belief that survived the streets, the shelters, everything.
What happens at the end? Did he get the job?
Yes. After 6 long months, the boss called him in.
6 months with no pay?
Yes. 6 months of hard work. But not only hard work.
Not only? What else?
He had talent. He learned fast. He found smart ways to save time. He could see what others missed.
Ah, so it was his gift.
Yes, his talent plus his hard work. And one more thing, belief. He never lost his belief.
Hard work, talent, and belief.
Exactly. That mix gave him power. Only one person was chosen, and it was him.
What did he do in that moment?
He shook the boss's hand, his eyes filled with tears.
Did he shout? Did he cry out loud?
No, he walked outside, into the street. He clapped softly to himself. His tears fell, but his steps were light.
A walk of victory.
Yes, victory not only in work, but in life.
From nothing, he built a future.
From despair, he made hope.
Maya, the rain is still falling. But inside here, it feels warm.
Yes, that's what belief is like. Even when it's dark outside, you hold a small light inside.
Now I see why this movie touched you. It's not about money. It's about holding on.
Many people have skills, Julian, but belief is what makes you keep going when everything else is gone.
Belief. Even when you are tired. Even when you have nothing.
Exactly. That's what kept him walking. And that's what keeps me playing.
And maybe that's what keeps us learning too.
Yes. One word, one note.
one small step, and it becomes hope. By the way, tomorrow I will see my old friend Ashley. She will bring her friend Tom. Do you want to come with me?
Yes, Maya, I'd be glad to.